If you're ever in this situation where you have 3 pawns or just one more pawn than your opponent and you're set up in this similar situation, you need to focus on the candidate pawn. The candidate pawn is able to go up on the open file if you play it correctly. The main move that you need to make is ensure that the candidate pawn is always going to be 1-2 slides to the side away from this pawn, meaning that this pawn right here is just 1 square away. Ensure that the moment you set this up first, this has to be set up first, not these pawns move up first. This pawn has to be open in this position right now. It doesn't matter what black decides to do. If black decides to play the h pawn on h6, and you can just play back, black is not going to ignore this, most likely try to take, but then you can take back, but you still have a 2-to-1 lead right here. In this position, doesn't matter what you do, because if you do take back and the king tries to come over here and try to meddle in all these pawn affairs right here, so then you then play now the candidate pawn. The candidate pawn now is attacking this pawn, and black has to respond by either taking or ignoring. If black ignores, you can just simply pass up and you'll be able to promote right there. If black does not ignore, you then be able to come here and return back the favor and capture that pawn. Remember, the setup is putting the candidate pawn right here, ensuring that's 1 square away. Doesn't matter what black does. If black decides to ignore this, we then can move this up here, ensuring that this pawn passes up for safety. Because at the end of the day, if black decides to come here, you then could pass up. Or if you decide to attack, then black would then be able to take, and then be able to take, and then pass this pawn over here.